It is a beautiful day to start living your life the way you want to live it. Welcome back to the Forward Focus Finish series. I'm Jason. For today's video, I'd like to do a little bit of a departure from what we did in the first four, as I feel the channel's starting to get a little bit of legs now, and I use that term loosely. But the timing seems to be perfect to let you guys know about the origin and philosophy of the three words that make up this channel, and the same three words you hear me say all the time: forward, focus, finish. Roughly 2 years ago at this time, I decided to go on a what-if adventure. And of course that adventure centered around a girl, and this was the one that at the time that I felt was the one that got away. So her and I agreed to get together to see if exactly she was the one that got away. A little bit of a spoiler, she wasn't, but she remains a true friend to this day, one of my deepest, dearest friends, a spiritual ally. She's the one who actually turned me on to the 4 agreements, the topic of last week's video. I couldn't be more happy with the friendship that I have with her, and I'm very blessed to have her in my life. But as equally as important, the forward focus finish philosophy was born out of preparing for that journey. Now, her and I hadn't seen each other for about 15 years, and as you can imagine, I wanted to prepare myself for that meeting. I wanted to try to look my best. So I decided to exercise and get into shape. It wasn't the first time I had exercised during that time. I had actually lost 75 pounds at once. At my heaviest, I was 235. I got all the way down to 174, 6 pounds within my goal weight of 168, which was the same weight I was when I graduated high school. I felt that would be a great goal to achieve 20 years out of high school, to be the same weight. Well, I came within 6 pounds. I injured myself exercising and kind of never got back on the horse. And so I ended up gaining some weight back. Little FYI, if you're keeping score at home, as of the time of this video, I'm about 202. So just bear with that. But as far as the story goes, I was preparing myself for that meeting and I was trying to get into shape. One of the things I used to do back in high school is I ran track. I was a distance runner. Well, at this point, I had been diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. I was dealing with the arthritis in my knees, and I decided that maybe some brisk walking was the best thing for me. Well, one day, I decided to check out my old runner's legs. I said, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot because I'm a runner at heart. I love to run. And as I turned the corner for a good straightaway, which is probably about maybe a half mile, I decided this is a great time. Let's go ahead and open it up. And within the first few steps, I immediately regretted it. I was sucking eggs. My body wasn't having it, but I just wanted to see it through. And at the very end on the horizon there was a small little green street sign for the intersection that was going to be my goal. And I just locked eyes on that street sign as I was running up and down, and I just made that a burning goal. And I told myself, focus. Focus. And then I said, finish. And then I said, forward. And I kept saying it over and over until it started to become a cadence. And that cadence was forward, focus, finish. And again, I just locked eyes on that sign as it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And for as much as my body hurt, for as much as my body wanted to say stop, that goal, that focus, that burning desire was speaking louder. And that was able to trump what my body was feeling. Again, I wanted to stop. My body said, that's enough. My mind said, keep going. And before I knew it, I had reached that sign, turned the corner, and kept going to my house. And I was actually able to make it all the way to my home. And I stopped there as I was doubled over because at that point I was done. And it just struck me, wow, it's amazing what you can achieve when you set your mind on something and you have a mantra to wrap a goal around, that you can pretty much push anything out, including physical cues, to reach that goal. And I decided at that point, you know what, if I can do this on a physical level, I can absolutely do this on a mental level and assimilate it into my life and make it part of my everyday mantra, if you will. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a constant reminder for that forward focus finish, that mantra that had pretty much come out of nowhere. And I suddenly was able to harness that power and apply it to anything in my everyday life. So what I did is I came up with a symbol. It's a symbol that's on my shirt. It's a symbol you see behind me. It's a symbol that you see at the beginning and end of every video. And it stands for forward, focus, finish. It's everywhere I go. I even have it as an air freshener in my car. You can actually custom make air fresheners and have it hang from your rearview mirror if you want to. It's the screensaver that I have at work. It's on my phone. Everywhere I go, there's the constant reminder for that mantra, because I'm going to slip. I'm human. We talked about the 4 agreements last week. I'm still having difficulty making them part of my everyday life, but I'm trying. Going back to the first video, going 24 hours without complaining. I still make complaints. I'm trying. And the constant reminder is the symbol. That's what works for me. And I'm hoping it works for you. Or if it doesn't, you can come up with your own mantra. But the idea here is there's something that you can do to give yourself a visual cue, put it in your head, and all of a sudden it will become part of your subconscious before you know it, to where you're actually able to assimilate that into your everyday life. There have been times where I've struggled, again, like I just said, and I fell off of, let's say, the impeccability of my word. But you know what? For the amount of times that I've done that, I'm starting to also reach the impeccability of my word. And it has to do with the constant reassurance that the symbol has given me. So I apologize, I don't have really any technical way to go over this outside of showing you the symbol on my phone and how it stands for Forward Focus Finish. This symbol I came up with is actually a combination of the 3 F's, the first letters of each word. You do have the F that goes this way. I have a backwards F right next to it. And then, of course, if we turn it this way, there's the 3rd F. So this is the symbol I came up with. It's the symbol I have on my shirt. And again, it's the one on my wall. The constant reminders, I can't drive home enough how important those are to reaffirm the mantra that I had come up with, again, that works for me. Once more, if it works for you, please adopt it. Please use it. I embrace that. I think that's wonderful. Or if you have something that's more dear to you, you don't necessarily have to have a symbol. You can have something that you can wrap the idea around. A picture of your children, a goal that you want to achieve. That could be a house, a car, clothes that you want to be able to fit into. It doesn't matter. As long as you pick something and then you have a burning desire behind it and you have a mantra that you can say to yourself, it's going to start working for you. If we take what we had brought to the table from the first 4 videos and we kind of put our own little personal touch on it, you're going to see how transcendent it's going to be on your life. That's what this is all about. Changing our lives, getting more positive, getting more out of life. We've lived our ways up until this point, going through the doldrums of a day-to-day life. Do you want to keep doing that? Make a list of all your shortcomings to this point. Have that list next to you all the time. Look at it every day and ask yourself, do you want to repeat that? Then make a list of all your successes. Look at that every day and ask yourself, do you want to repeat that? The answer is going to be pretty obvious. Let's go on this journey together. Let's come out the other end, living an amazing life that we've taken control of. So again, I have this symbol on my wall. As soon as I wake up, I give it one of these, kind of like the exit to the Notre Dame locker room, and I hold my hand on it for a couple seconds, and I try to draw the energy from it for the rest of the day. And what I do is I come right over here, and before I leave my bedroom, I've also written it on the wall. So before I leave the room and face the day, I have my reminder right there. A second time. I can't avoid that. I see it every day. And no matter how I get up and what kind of mood I'm in, if I'm tired, if I don't want to go to work, it doesn't matter. It's there. I get in the mindset and I do what I need to do. To give you an idea of how powerful this has become, I started a new job about 8 months ago in September. And I was in training through about the middle of January. I'm in a burgeoning department. It's the place to be in this company. And what I did is I hit the ground running. I came out, and for the first 3 months, I was the #1 individual in my entire department for the first 3 months, back to back to back. And it's because I embraced this philosophy. It's because I try to approach every day the same way, trying to give it my best, just focusing on what I need to do and repeating those results over and over and over again. That's just one example of how that can work. You can do it in your work life. You can do it in your personal life. You can do it in your family life. There's so many nuances that you can take your mantra and apply it to every facet of your life. Another example is I recently quit smoking. As of this video, I'm 40 days smoke-free, and I've embraced a new lifestyle as far as my diet and exercise. Now again, a little bit out of shape here. My lungs are smoker's lungs. My body really wasn't ready for it, but I jumped right into it. And when I'm starting to feel like I want to give up, that's when the mantra comes out. That's when it almost feels like there's a ball of energy that reaches through every inch of my body, goes through all my arteries to every extremity, and takes over. And it allows me to push just until I can get to that end. Am I crushed at the end? Absolutely. Has the exercise kicked my ass? You bet it has. But I've reached my goal. And after I've recovered, I feel so much better about myself. I feel so empowered. I'm ready to take on whatever life throws at me. Now, it's not always going to give you the results that you want. Life's going to do what life's going to do. We have to adapt. But it's going to put you in a stronger mindset that you can adapt more quickly. Remember what I said a couple videos ago as far as getting knocked down? It's how many times we get back up. It's how quickly we get back up and try to limit how far we stumble. That's what this does for you. Embrace it. Make it your own. Take control of your life. I could go on for hours about how this philosophy has changed my life, how it's become who I am. It's become a defining part of a moment in my life, and how there's been a definitive shift until then. But I'm not going to do it. You get the point by now. So I just wanted to put together a little quick video. So this video is going to be a little shorter than what you've seen the last couple of weeks, and that's fine. You guys needed to know where all this is coming from, that it wasn't just something that I concocted one day and decided to throw up on YouTube, that there's a history behind it, there's a meaning behind it. And now that you know that, when you watch these videos, if you want to go back and rewatch the other ones, or as you watch them moving forward, know where this comes from. Know that it's something that you can really embrace, and you can make it your own, and you can make your life the way you want it to be. Once more, if you're enjoying these videos and you haven't yet subscribed, please do. You can do by pressing the button here, and you can check out the most recent video here. Please feel free to share these videos anywhere you like, on Facebook, Instagram, any form that you feel that somebody can possibly benefit from. Until next time, be the best you can be, and as always, forward, focus, finish.